SoloTravelAdventures. We're here at the 2020 Boston Travel and Adventure Show. We're going to be sharing all sorts of opportunities for travel with you today. We've already been through the press preview, checked out Miami, the Passport area, and a few other great exhibits. We're going to see what else we can find today.
2003. So our stewardship to the environment started back then. And if we step back from Ocean Key and just focus on the steps that we've taken, we've actually been the first major cruise line to be carbon neutral as we enter this year. So it goes back to not just the ships, but also the destinations that we're delivering to. We want to be a neighbor and a good neighbor to the oceans that we visit as well as the communities. So with Ocean Key, this is the first marine reserve in the Bahamas, and it's actually a multi-year project. And I say project very lightly because it truly is a transformation. So this island used to be an industrial sand excavation site. And we removed 7,500 tons of debris.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the show is open to
so we now have an island that is really a true paradise. It was meant to be. 65 square miles around the island is a marine reserve. We'll be announcing shortly some partnerships that really take that to the next level, and will provide an experience for our guests when they actually come on to the island to really be more involved in terms of the marine reservation that we've done. What's great for our guests is it's exclusive for our guests, but we're there from morning until night. So you have an experience all day where you're snorkeling, you're kayaking, you're getting to experience this marine reserve both on land and in the ocean. And then at night we have a junk canoe band, we have a lighthouse show. So it really is a full-fledged experience for our guests from day to night, which is unique to MSC.
For the public here at the travel show. We're trying to get a jump on the summer travel season here in Boston. As people, right now we're still in our slow season for passport applications, but in the next few weeks people are going to start applying for spring break. So if we can try to get some people to beat the rush, it'll help us when we get really busy. Coming from Washington, we are also here with a plethora of information on travel safety and security. We want people to travel, we want people to have a good time. We don't want people to have to ruin their vacation and come in and see us because they've had something bad happen to them overseas. So we've got all kinds of information on how travelers can enroll in our Smart Traveler Enrollment Program. We will send push notifications if something happens in the area where you're traveling via email, and then we also have information on our travel alert system. We have travel information on our website at travel.state.gov for every single country in the world. We have consular officers on hand in most of those countries to assist you. We have a 4-level alert program, steps 1, 2, 3, and 4. Step 1 is asking travelers to exercise normal precautions while they're traveling. Be aware of your surroundings, but nothing out of the ordinary. Step 2 is to exercise increased caution. For example, in this past week, we raised our alerts for both Costa Rica and Australia to level 2. In Australia, because of the brush fires, we don't want folks inadvertently going into areas that are going to keep first responders from putting the fires out. And in Costa Rica, because of increased crime that we want everyone to be aware of. It doesn't mean don't go, but just be extra aware that things are happening there. Our step 3 is for reconsidering your travel to that place because of an ongoing issue. And level 4 is do not travel. And that's for countries like Iraq and Venezuela and Iran right now. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer a few while you're here.
What's the average turnaround time for a passport?
For a passport? Well, if you apply today, I think it's probably about 3 to 4 weeks. If you wait a few weeks, it's probably going to creep up to 6 to 8. So I would apply as soon as possible. Anyone else?
Expedite here or not?
Yes, we can do expedite fees here as well. Yeah, we can do regular processing or expedite today. Normally, if you go into a passport agency, they usually only take you if you've got travel in the next 72 hours or so, and you do have to pay the expedite fee if that happens. So, yeah.
Let me just add a couple of things.
Sure, please go right ahead.
Lindsay is going to be joined by somebody from TSA this afternoon from 2:45 to 3:30 in the Savvy Traveler Pavilion, giving a presentation. TSA obviously is going to cover, their stuff, get screening and making sure people can get through screening well, also TSA pre. Lindsay is going to cover more in depth travel overseas and the kinds of things that she talked about, our alert system and things like that. The other thing, shameless plug, we have been on TravelGov is our social media property, our handle at TravelGov. We've been on Instagram for about a year now, and we have about 8,500 followers. Our goal is to get to 10,000. So we would really love if you guys could spread the word. It's a phenomenal property, and the team that runs it is really awesome. Lindsay was just saying to me that our first actually travel warnings went up for the first time on Instagram yesterday. Yeah. So, but it's a great source of really, I think, really good, travel tips and hacks and information.
We've got fascinating photography from our consular officers across the world.
So you heard it here first. That's our goal. We're trying to get over 10,000. So, you've got to have a goal, right? So, and then we will be around all day today and tomorrow, and are happy to answer any questions people have. People have very specific questions often, and having served overseas, Lindsay's served 5 or 6 or 7 places. I've been in 4, and some interesting places, and some sort of very, I don't know, mundane. Or sort of normal, whatever. And we've had a lot of experience dealing with Americans overseas, and the challenges that they have, and so we're happy to talk to people if they have specific questions. So, yeah.
Well, first of all, my name is Susie Sponder, and I'm with the Communications Department at the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau. My colleague, Joe Docal, introduce yourself.
Good morning. My name is Joe Docal. I'm the travel industry director for travel industry sales, and I cover here in the U.S. the Northeast and as well as the Midwest and Latin America.
Kathleen
Trooptree. I'm the in-market rep based in New York, covering the Northeast.
And we brought a special guest with us today because Boston is such a great food town that we wanted to share some of our culinary talent. Chef Chris Valdez is one of the featured chefs as part of the South Beach Wine and Food Festival, which is the largest wine and food festival in the country. A little bit about Miami. It's kind of hard to sum up Miami in a couple of words, but obviously diversity, art and culture, great outdoor adventures, beautiful beaches, year-round great weather. We're a big event town. We've got a couple of small events heading our way, starting with the Super Bowl on February 2nd. And then we'll have the Wine and Food Festival at the end of February. We have a boat show. So we're going to be very busy over the next couple of months. But it was a really great opportunity for us to come here, be a part of this show. We especially also want to feature Miami's outdoor campaign. We are going to be launching a new marketing campaign. The unveiling will be January 22nd, so it's a little premature now for us to really talk about it. But it's essentially our Miami Land campaign, and more to come on that. So welcome, and happy to take any interviews. Chef is a great spokesperson for the destination, so he'll be happy to talk to you more about the culinary scene in Miami, some of our programs and initiatives like the Miami Spice Restaurant Months, and of course the South Beach Wine and Food Festival.
So, and just to kind of add to what some of what Susie's saying, we're also the cruise capital of the world. So we're actually Port Miami will be transforming the downtown Miami skyline. We 3 of the main cruise lines, they have their headquarters in Miami: Royal Caribbean, Carnival Corporation, as well as NCL. They're all building brand new terminals in Miami. We just had actually in the last 2 months, we had 3 new ships that actually started service in Miami from MSC, as well as NCL and Royal Caribbean also introduced a new ship. So right now we have the Symphony of the Seas that actually arrived in November, which is the world's largest cruise ship. And then next year we have Virgin Voyages is actually going. Richard Branson, as you may know, has created a new cruise line, which is called Virgin Voyages, and that'll start its operation out of Port Miami next year, in March of next year. So we're pretty excited about that, and we also have MSC Cruises, which is also one of the is also participating in the show. They're building 2 massive terminals in Port Miami because they are looking to build 2 7,000 passenger ships. So the we'll continue to grow as far as Port Miami is concerned, and offering more and more options to cruise passengers, and as well as the Miami International Airport will be going through major, not so much refurbishment, but they'll be doing some things to several of the terminals. 2 new hotels will be built also on property at Miami International Airport. Brand new service from Europe. We now have flights from the African continent direct flights into Miami International. So, and of course, from Latin America, the U.S. and Canada as well. So.
Actually, the Miami International Airport has the highest number of flights into any U.S. airport. So not passenger numbers, but the highest number of flights.
Yeah, and on the sports side too, just kind of staying a little bit on the sports side. So besides the Super Bowl this year, next year we will have the college national championship will be played in Miami as well. So we're very excited about that. And Miami is also in contention for the 2026 World Cup as one of the cities where we hope to host World Cup matches in Miami as well. So lots of great things that are going on. We have a couple of other things in the wings that we are also negotiating. We will have a new MLS team that will start playing next year, which David Beckham is part owner of the team. So we're really excited about that. So that's actually the last professional sports that we needed in Miami. So we pretty much now that completes the whole the full gamut. And we are also the commission. The city commission is also in negotiation to hopefully bring Formula One racing into Miami as well. So hopefully that'll be within the next couple of years. So again, just lots of things that are really happening. We're constantly working to bring in new events, whether they be culinary, whether they be sports related, whether they be the arts, culture. We continue to do as much as we can to continue making Miami that global city that we really all want it to be in, and we're very proud of to be part of it.
Chef, do you want to give your talking points down?
What has made it the story that it is today is we have an enormous amount of culinary and food events throughout each month. One of those events is Miami Spice. Imagine going to a restaurant and having a 3-course meal made by a local celebrity chef with local inspired ingredients and recipes for only $39. So it's one of the things that we do to bring people into our restaurants. Of course, the locally sourced ingredients, the local celebrity chefs, and the history that we have behind Miami that has built the momentum that we have going today. We also have the South Beach Food and Wine Festival, which is the biggest food festival in the world, which brings most of the Food Network talent on board, and we get to enjoy one of the best bites from them and from local chefs. We also have interesting food events during that week. Croquetas and champagne. Imagine sipping on some champagne and over 200 croquetas. We have Burger Bash, where we make over 100 different types of burgers. You can't go through that many. I've tried every year. Imagine a food fair just of cookies. So we really, Lee Schrager, along with the foundation, really tries very hard to make this food event with over 50 events in a week really change and add to what we have going today in the food scene. So it's just incredible, and it's next month. So I'm very excited. I'm trying to get my diet in. And truly, I've traveled so much throughout the world, and Miami, what we have going right now with its diversity, with its different types of cultures and different types of recipes, with different themes and different experiences, has made Miami what it is today. So we hope you join us and enjoy.
Thank you.
guys, we are having a blast here at the Boston Travel and Adventure Show, talking to lots of vendors, lots of tour operators, hotels, cruise lines, you name it, they've got it here. About a third of this show is New England, so lots from Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Rhode Island, and right here in Massachusetts. So we're having a blast exploring the opportunities, maybe future stuff for the channel here. We'll have to see.
Thank you for joining us at the Boston Travel and Adventure Show. Our stages are in full swing.
I think that's going to wrap it up for today here at the Boston Travel and Adventure Show. Big thank you to them for having us out. They give us media passes, so our admission was covered. And huge thank you to Unicom, who puts on the event as well. We met plenty of exhibitors, plenty of opportunities, plenty of speakers that really help with the travel planning of this channel as well. Some of those opportunities may be in the future for us. Even met a small family that runs sailboat tours in the southeast of Alaska. Little 6-person sailboat, and they go out for a while, and they can get right up to the wildlife because it's a sailboat. It doesn't make any noise. So that was really cool. Definitely some great future opportunities for us. We'll just see how many we can squeeze in. Stay tuned.
you.